I saw a few couples. They were dancing actually together, 6 or 8 people. And the girls were very, very voluptuous and very game. They have a good time.
Makes for a great photograph.
Photography as a medium is amazing because you can take something mundane, you can take something horrible, and if the light is right and if the composition is right, you can make something absolutely beautiful out of it that people want to look at. I remember taking the picture and having the camera in front of my face, and I was able to line it up and compose, and the minute I put my camera down, I was in the scene and I started crying. And that was my intro.
The rest is history,
Yeah.
I've had the rare opportunity to meet many amazing photographers who move through the different landscapes to create powerful images. I'm always inspired by how these images transform the way we see people and understand the world. A great photograph needs no explanation, but on Capture, these incredible people tell the story of creating their most memorable images. I'm Mark Seliger, and this is Capture. Welcome to Capture. I'm Mark Seliger, and I'm sitting today with Misha Baryshnikov. Indisputably one of the greatest dancers of all times, an actor, an author, and a photographer. Also founded the Baryshnikov Art Center. And Ben Lowy, the award-winning photojournalist and award-winning author. Welcome, guys, to Capture. Ben, we wanted to take a little look. Your first book, Iraq Perspectives, won a Huntington Award. It was about your journey in Iraq, which you shot behind the glass of a Humvee.
I was trying to figure out how I could tell a story about Iraq in a different way, how I could get past people's apathy, their perceptions, their want to ignore this war. And I thought the aesthetic is what I really need to concentrate on. I need to create like a narrative.
And by having that frame of where you were, it showed this isolation, this protective quality, yet you were going through day-to-day life that these people were living, and which was very unprotected.
The way I wanted to present Iraq was not with an agenda, was not with this is how it is from my perspective as a New Yorker, but part of shooting through this window is these are how American soldiers see Iraq.
Right. That's the great point.
And I think it's really important to be able to represent the sacrifices that everyone's made.
Misha, you grew up in Riga, Latvia. Did you have any interest in photography?
Latvians were extremely nationalistic and very much open to everything Western. And there were quite a few very capable photographers.
Which is interesting because you've been photographed for the last 4 decades and you've taken the other side. There's a picture that you did of Mr. Abaddon.
Yeah, that's an interesting story. And I spent a day with Dick. We've been working throughout 35 years. And I brought my camera, little Nikon, and I said, well, Mr. Abaddon, that's now my turn to photograph you. We had a few hours to kill.
He set it up for you, right?
He set it up. Right,
you were like the assistant to his self-portrait.
Absolutely.
It's interesting to have both of you here because I think that you each take a very non-traditional way of photographing and the techniques that you use. You've made the Hipstamatic into a paintbrush for photography. Do you pack more than one iPhone?
Now I do. The art world has its own kind of issues where if something's available for the masses, it's not really art, it's not good enough.
The best equipment, in my view, for my kind of work, I looked for mistakes in this industry. And the cheaper camera, in a way, the simpler camera, it's easier to work, in my view.
This book here is a book that you collaborated on, or you were given access to the Merce Cunningham.
I would say collaborated,
Yeah.
you know, and I asked his permission to be a fly on the wall, sort of during his rehearsals. And that was the result of our collaboration. And he selected the images himself, together, you know.
He edited with you?
Yes.
You co-edited?
Yes.
Okay. It's a great book. It's a beautiful
Thank
book.
you.
This is earlier, right, than your Merce work.
Yes,
So,
of course.
So this was done in a place that I know you like to hang out and spend time when you're not in New York, which is the
Dominican Republic.
Dominican
yes.
Republic. And
That's the place which I start to experiment with digital photography, but not to, by just a chance, attending some dance parties, because Dominicans, you know, party everywhere, you know, give them, you know, a president.
that was a great party.
You know, yes, that was a lovely party.
But I mean, look at this. Look how great this looks. This is a.
That's my
this
blue
is-
period.
This is blue card, of course. But this is merengue, right? This is focused on people that are
it's
dancers.
a song, actually. It's all Cuban place in outskirts of Santo Domingo. You know, Dominicans are such a happy people, and it's a hard life. They're very hard-working people. But the minute they hear music and you open a couple of bottles of Presidente beer, they're dancing, man, and how they're dancing.
Let me ask you a question. You ever get intimidated when you go to a place like the DR and, you know, they ask you to come dance with them?
Last year in Argentina, a woman asked me to dance, and I cannot dance tango to save my miserable life. I went on my knees and said, please do not, because I don't want to offend anybody, you know? And all dance hall looking at me.
You just have two left feet when it comes to tango, huh?
No, you have to learn it. You know, I guess if I will spend a couple of years, you know.
Yeah, I bet I can count on him learning how to do it pretty well, right?
I'd love to see that, actually.
Hi, I'm Mark Seliger on the set of Capture, and with me are the great photojournalist Ben Lowy and my friend Misha Baryshnikov, actor, dancer, and a very good photographer in his own right. Make sure that you don't miss a single episode of my show by clicking the subscribe button below. And leave a comment if you'd like, and of course share with your friends.